Did you know that over 1.5 billion people around the world are learning English? Imagine starting from zero, not knowing many words, and then after just a few months, being able to talk with others in real conversations. Today, I want to share a story about how a young man from South Korea did just that. He moved to New York City to learn English. At first, he struggled, but then he found some smart and simple ways to improve. In the end, he was able to speak confidently and naturally. This story isn't just about learning English. It's also about believing in yourself and finding easy, useful ways to get better every day. Stay until the end of this video, where I'll share new vocabulary, helpful phrases, and even a fun speaking practice called shadowing that you can try right now. Let's begin. Joon's story.
My name is Joon, and this is my journey learning English in New York. I'm excited to tell you what worked for me, my mistakes, and how I kept going. A new city, a new language. When I first arrived in New York, I was nervous. I could speak only a little English. I remember sitting on the subway, listening to people talking around me. They spoke so fast. I didn't understand much. Two women sat across from me speaking English. I wanted to talk to them, but I was afraid. Then I took a deep breath and said a few simple words. They smiled and understood me. That moment made me happy and gave me confidence. I told them I was learning English. They said they were from Canada and gave me their phone number. They even invited me to visit. After that day, I knew I wanted to get better. I started to work on my English every day. I read short stories, watched movies with subtitles, and tried to speak as much as I could. 6 months later, I saw a big change. I could understand much more and I could speak better. But I wanted more. I wanted to speak like a native speaker. That's why I decided to study English in New York. My first day at school. On my first day at school, I was excited and a little scared. The classroom was full of students from many countries. Our teacher, Ms. Clara, was kind and friendly. She told us that learning English is not just about studying textbooks. She said, "The best way to learn English is to use it. Speak it every day. Don't just memorize words or rules. Use the language to share your thoughts and feelings." This was different from what I expected. I thought learning English meant hours of grammar drills and vocabulary lists. But Ms. Clara explained that real learning happens when you speak and listen a lot. She said that many students know English grammar, but rarely use it to speak. They study about English, but they don't use English. She encouraged us to talk more, make mistakes, and practice every day. How I learned new words. In one class, a student asked, "What is the best way to learn new words?" Ms. Clara smiled and said, "Reading is the most effective way. People who read learn new words twice as fast." She told us to choose books or stories that we like. "If you read something boring or too hard, you will stop quickly," she said. "Read for at least 30 minutes every day. When you find a word you don't know, use a dictionary to understand it. You don't need to write it down. Your brain will remember it." I followed her advice. I started reading simple books and fun stories. When I saw a new word, I looked it up and tried to say it out loud. Slowly, my vocabulary grew. Reading also helped me see how words fit together in sentences. I learned grammar naturally by seeing it in real use. Later, I found another helpful method. Choose 5 new words each day and write a short story, 2 to 3 sentences, using all of them. This made learning fun and helped me remember the words better because I used them in my own sentences. Here are 3 examples from my notebook. Words: happy, rain, umbrella, walk, music. Story: today I went for a walk even though it rained. I had an umbrella and felt happy. I listen to music while walking. Words, dream, movie, stars, night, quiet, story. Last night, I watched a movie about stars. It was quiet outside, and after the movie, I dreamed about flying in space. Words, coffee, morning, busy, friend, talk. Story. In the morning, I met my friend at a coffee shop. We talked for hours even though it was busy and noisy. Try this method. It's a great way to practice both vocabulary and writing. You can even speak your short stories out loud to improve speaking too. My first job, practice outside school. After a few weeks in New York, I found a part-time job at a small coffee shop near my school. At first, I was very nervous because I didn't feel confident speaking English, but the manager, Anna, was young and very kind. She spoke slowly and used simple words to help me understand. She taught me how to make coffee, greet customers, and take their orders. Every day at work was a new chance to practice English. I learned so much just by listening and speaking with real people. It was different from the classroom, but very useful. Here are some real-life situations I practiced every day. A customer says, "Hi, what's today's special?" I learned to answer, "Today we have a new cold brew on sale." A customer asks, "Can I get a large latte with almond milk?" I learned to say, "Of course. Would you like it hot or cold?" Someone wants to know, "How much is this pastry?" I reply, "It's $2.50. A customer says, "This coffee is amazing." I can respond, "Thank you. I'm glad you like it." When I made a mistake, someone said, "No problem, it happens." And I learned to say, "I'm sorry. Thank you for being patient." Talking to customers helped me speak more naturally and clearly. I learned how to be polite, how to ask questions, and how to listen carefully. This experience taught me one important lesson. The best way to improve your English is to use it every day, not just in books or classrooms, but in real life. Struggles with pronunciation. One day in class, a student also from South Korea named Minho raised his hand. He said, "I understand English well, but my pronunciation is bad. I want to speak more clearly, but I don't know how." Our teacher said, "Many students have this problem. When you speak English, your mouth muscles need to work differently than in your native language. It's normal to have a different accent at first, but you can improve by practicing a technique called shadowing. Shadowing is simple but powerful. You listen to a recording and try to copy the sounds exactly as you hear them. It's like following a shadow. Repeat everything immediately. This helps your mouth learn new movements and your ears get used to English sounds. Ms. Clara showed us a YouTube video about shadowing. We all tried it for a few minutes. It felt strange but fun. She suggested practicing shadowing before presentations, or anytime you want better pronunciation. I started doing it every day, and I noticed my English sounded more natural. Thinking aloud. A few days later, a new student joined our class. Her name was Marie from Italy. When she spoke, her English sounded smooth and natural. Our teacher asked her how she improved so much. Marie said she practices 3 things every day: reading, shadowing, and thinking aloud. I was curious about thinking aloud. Our teacher explained, "Thinking aloud means saying your thoughts out loud in English. Instead of thinking in your native language and translating, you think directly in English and speak what you think. At first it feels strange and maybe funny, but it helps you speak quickly and naturally." Marie said when she started, she used simple sentences like, "I like English," or "I want to learn more." She practiced every day until it became normal. One day, she spoke with an Australian tourist without any problems, even though she was a beginner. Thinking aloud helped her speak without stopping to translate in her mind. I decided to try this too. At first, I felt silly talking to myself, but I started small. While walking to school, I said things like, "Today is cold. I wear jacket. I want coffee. I go to cafe. This street is busy. I wait before crossing." Later, I tried longer sentences at home. For example, "I need to study tonight. I will review vocabulary. If I make mistakes, I will correct them." I feel tired now, but I know practice makes me better. After a few weeks, I began to think in English without translating. When someone asked me a question, I could answer faster. My brain didn't stop to translate from Korean anymore. Thinking aloud changed the way I learned English. It wasn't magic, just daily practice. And slowly, speaking English felt easier and more natural. Learning grammar without stress. One afternoon, I asked Ms. Clara about grammar. I said, "I'm afraid of grammar. Should I study grammar rules a lot?" She smiled and said, "It depends on your goal. If you want to speak English naturally, you don't need to study grammar too much. You learn grammar naturally by reading and listening. When you do shadowing, you practice correct grammar because you copy native speakers." She added, "If you are studying for an exam, then you should focus more on grammar rules and practice with exam materials. But for everyday speaking, relax. Use English as much as possible. Grammar will come with time." This advice made me feel less stressed. I realized learning grammar is important, but it doesn't have to be scary or boring. My progress and tests. Every month, Ms. Clara encouraged us to test our English. She believed that checking our progress was just as important as studying. She told us about 2 websites that help English learners see how much they know and where they need to improve. The first website was testyourvocab.com. It's a free site where you can find out how many English words you already know. I took the test and found out I knew about 2,100 words. Other students had similar results. Ms. Clara explained that for beginners, reaching 2,000, 3,000 words is a big step. That's enough to understand simple conversations, books, and movies. The second website was at the address www.efset.org. This one gives you a full English test with listening, reading, and grammar. After finishing it, I got a score of B1, intermediate. I felt proud because when I came to New York, my level was A1, beginner. These tests helped me understand which grammar topics I should study next. They also showed me how much I was improving over time. Testing yourself regularly is a good way to stay motivated and see your progress. You don't need to feel nervous. These tests are not like school exams. They are tools to help you learn better and faster. Now, I check my vocabulary and level every few months. Each time I see that I'm getting better, and that makes me want to keep going. Mistakes are okay. One class, a student said, "I don't want to make mistakes when I speak English. I'm afraid I will look stupid." Ms. Clara laughed softly and said, "Making mistakes is part of learning. When we learned our first language as children, we made many mistakes, but we didn't care. The important thing is to express your ideas. Mistakes will become fewer if you keep using English." She explained that mistakes should not stop us from speaking. It's normal, and even famous people make mistakes sometimes. The key is to keep practicing, reading, and listening every day. This was very comforting to hear. And honestly, after hearing that, I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I realized that I didn't have to be perfect. I just had to keep going. Now, looking back at my journey, I feel proud of how far I've come. From being too scared to order coffee in English, to having real conversations with friends and coworkers, it all started with small steps and accepting that mistakes are part of the process. If you're watching this and feeling stuck or frustrated with your English, I want you to know You're not alone. Everyone starts somewhere, and progress takes time. So please don't give up. Even if you only learn one new word today, that's still a win. Just keep showing up, keep practicing, and believe in yourself. Because you're capable of more than you think. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope your English journey brings you joy, confidence, and new opportunities.
All right. So that was Joon's story. And what an inspiring one it is, right? He came to New York with very little English, faced real challenges, and kept going. He made mistakes, yes, but he didn't let them stop him. And honestly, that's the most important lesson here. Because whether you're starting from zero or just trying to get better, making mistakes is totally okay. It's not about being perfect. It's about being brave enough to try. You've heard Joon's story and picked up some useful words and phrases. Now it's time to speak. Let's practice with a simple but powerful method, shadowing. I'll say a sentence, and you repeat it right after me, as if you're my shadow. Try to match my speed, tone, and pronunciation. We'll go slowly, and I'll repeat each sentence twice so you can practice more. Are you ready? Let's begin. Repeat after me. I'm learning English every day. Good job. One more time. I am learning English every day. I want to speak clearly and confidently. Nice work. Let's try again. I want to speak clearly and confidently. Making mistakes is okay. That's right. Once more, making mistakes is okay. Reading helps me learn new words. You're doing great. Say it again. Reading helps me learn new words. I think aloud in English to improve my speaking. Awesome effort. Let's try one last time. I think aloud in English to improve my speaking. Well done. That was a solid practice session. Keep doing this every day, even for just 5 minutes, and you'll see real improvement. Remember, progress takes time, but you're getting better every day. Thanks for joining me today, and thank you, Joon, for sharing such a powerful journey. Until next time, keep practicing, stay positive, and most importantly, keep speaking English. Bye.